Puffie the pufferfish.
See, Joseph? Joseph, you want to come here?
There he
You can see.
When Puffie was born, he was the smallest baby pufferfish that had ever been seen. Neighbors stared in disbelief as his mother pushed him in his stroller. Strangers came from miles around to gawk at him. He was so small, his grandmother needed to use a magnifying glass to see him when she came to visit. Puffie's dad was terribly disappointed. Puffie was his first child, and he was hoping for a big, strapping fellow to play football and soccer with. Unfortunately, Puffie was too small to play ball games. The ball was always bigger than he was. Even when they practiced with a ping pong ball, Puffie would get knocked over. Everything went fine for Puffie when he was at home, and everyone knew to be careful not to bump into him or step on him. But one day, like for all fish everywhere, it became time for Puffie to start his education and join a school of fish. Puffie was nervous. Would his teachers notice if he held up his fin? Would he be able to see the smartboard? Would he get along with his classmates? Things started out great. His homeroom teacher, Mr. Phineas Brown, was a lot of fun. Puffie thought math and science were particularly fascinating, and the gym teacher thought Puffie should try out for the school swim team. The other students were very nice, except for Bully, the bull shark. He was mean and nasty, and when he saw how much fun everyone was having carrying Puffie around in their pockets, he was jealous and vindictive. Bully began to say nasty things about Puffie, like he was wet behind the ears, or that he smelled of smelts. Bully began to say that he would never invite anyone to his birthday party who invited Puffie over to play. And everyone knew that the shark family made the most totally amazing birthday parties ever. So one by one, all of Puffie's play dates dried up. And then, worst of all, Bully started a game of monkey fish in the middle. And Puffie was the one being thrown. Poor Puffie, it was scary and humiliating to be treated like a living ball. But whatever could he do? He was too small to defend himself against the powerful Bully. There was no one to help him. It made him mad, really mad. So mad that he inhaled deeply, and more deeply, and even more deeply. And before he knew it, he had blown up into a very big fish with sharp and impressive spikes. The students gasped, and they backed away. Bully gasped and backed away. Bully was afraid of Puffie when Puffie was big and powerful. He didn't bother Puffie anymore. Puffie was amazed to discover this trick to being powerful and scary to others. He no longer felt intimidated by teasing or hazing. Whenever another student started up with him, Puffie would just close his eyes and start breathing in, deep and deeper and deepest. And when he had attained his full size, he knew that he was a sight to behold. A scary and daunting vision of fearsome, fishious ferocity. But soon, he became overly sensitive to any little joke or insult, so he found himself puffed up pretty much all the time. Sometimes he found himself using his scary appearance to intimidate others and get them to do what he wanted. "Star, pick up my pencil," he would bark. Or, "Yosef, give me your peanut butter and jellyfish sandwich." and Star and Yosef would rush to fulfill his command because they were afraid of him. After a while, word got around that Puffie was not a fish to be messed with, and the other students left Puffie alone. All alone. Everyone became too afraid of him to want to play with him, and Puffie became lonely, very lonely. So he got into his clam bed and pulled the covers over his head so he could do some deep thinking. What happened to all his friends? How come he wasn't having fun anymore? Soon, his dad came into his room to see how he was. He saw that Puffie was hiding under the covers, and he thought perhaps he could hear him crying just a little bit. Dad asked, "What's wrong, cutie pie, sweetest little fish in the ocean?" "Oh, Dad," sobbed Puffie, "nobody but you thinks I'm cute or sweet or little. Everybody thinks I'm big and mean and spiky, and I don't even know how it happens." "Ah," said Dad, "something like that happened to me when I was a little puffer fish. Being small runs in our family, and I was a pretty tiny puffer fish myself. I hated being small because the other kids teased me and made fun of me, and it made me mad, really mad. And one day I got so mad that I took a deep breath and another until I found myself blown up, spiky and powerful. I began to act mean and bossy." "Really, Dad?" exclaimed Puffie. "Yes, son," Dad said, "but I didn't like how acting mean made me feel. I felt small and empty inside." "Oh, Dad," Puffie burst out, "that's just how I feel too." "But what did you do?" begged Puffie. "I went to bed and I hid under the covers and I cried just a little bit until my own dad found me, and he gave me some very good advice. It feels better to be loved and have lots of friends than to be feared and lonely. So that's what I've always done my best to do since then. Give it a try. See what happens," Dad said gently. So the next day, Puffie went to school, and he tried very hard to be kind and gentle. He picked up Star's pencil when she dropped it. He shared his organic wasabi seaweed snacks with Yosef. He asked Bully to be his partner at the science fair. He let the kids throw him around, as long as they were gentle. But hardest of all, when he felt himself becoming mad, he didn't take in a deep breath, or deeper breath, or the deepest breath. He counted to 1, 10 times, and he thought about how getting mad was not a good solution to anything. And the more he practiced, the easier it got, until Puffie had so many friends, he was elected president of the whole school of fish. It made him feel fantastic.
Whoa, I think this one wins the prize. Wow. Hey, look.
The end.
The end. That was very nice. Kathy, this is a good one, and it's very it's the whole concept of bullying.
Well done. Well done. Very good.
And I must say, Erwin, this was your best reading as well.
I'm getting better at reading.
It was great. Oh, I love this one.
I forgot one of the family portraits of little fish.
Oh, this was a good one.
Very good.
Isn't that funny?
Kathy, do you have all your, books out on display?
Yes.
They're somewhere.
These years?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.